Yeah, Brian.
Yeah.
Oh well then. Right, Ellie, stop the hilarity. Goodness sake, man, this house.
That's illegal.
Am I glad to be back to work?
Wait, no one's on.
No wonder, nobody's interested.
Brian's just taking his time.
Well, you just said there's nobody on yet.
There's
so
25 people
we'll
on.
get plenty of time. Just getting organised, Bryzy. Just make sure it goes smooth. Smooth operator. Nah, it's getting worse.
Zach. You got the green phone.
Right, that Brian.
35.
Fine.
We've got a chat.
We've got a chat. Ellie,
Heard that?
Ellie, stop throwing cling film in the house. It's very immature. Yeah? Right, Zach, leave it. As you can see, everybody, my youngest is a bit immature. She's throwing cling film at me because she thinks it's funny. So, today, hopefully we'll have a nice crowd watching today since I missed last week. I was doing a bit of cleaning Monday, Tuesday last week, so we had a great weekend. If you move your arms anymore, Susan, while I'm talking.
So how was your first week back,
I was
Dad?
just about to explain.
Well, I
Brian.
just wanted to ask you.
Who?
I want to ask you.
Well, my first week back was good, Brian. Thursday night, Friday,
It was
Saturday.
really quiet in the house.
Was it?
It
It was
was.
quiet at work as well, Brian, you believe it or not. Yes, I had peace and quiet. Yeah.
Right, that's not even funny.
Exactly. So, back to being serious now. So, this week we are doing pork fillet with DUXELLE of mushroom, spinach, broadbeans, PARMA ham crisp and mozzarella. There's a wee bit more ingredients here, and I'll
A
show
lot of green, isn't there?
a lot of green. Well, the pork's white, pink, white meat.
Yeah, there was just a lot of green.
Don't you worry yourself, Brian.
I wasn't worried.
It's fine. Okay, so we have PARMA ham in slices, which we're going to bake between two trays. Greaseproof paper, similar to the croutons that we did before. Nice golden colour, nice and crisp. So that's going to be the bite in the dish. The mushrooms we're going to chop up with some onion, fry them off, a little bit of cream. So we're going to add a little bit more cream, make it a wee bit more runny than a classic DUXELLE. So that's our sauce, effectively. Finish that off with a little bit of parsley. With that we have a little bit of spinach, broad beans, baby leeks, and then the pork fillet. Okay, so we'll start with the PARMA ham crisp, getting that in the oven. So take the tray, nice shade greaseproof. When you're picking up the ham, if you just use the cellophane paper just to release it separately, and just turn your hand round so you're getting the whole shape.
Don't want it to
ham.
bake, do you?
And again, pull it with one hand and just keep one hand to keep it flat. Okay, so we're looking for nice flat crisp. Again, similar.
There's a
Stop.
fight in the background.
There's a bit of hilarity going on in the corner there.
Huh?
Okay. So you can
Was
see
it one per portion?
one per portion, right? And there's 4 of us, so I'm making 4.
Yeah, I was only asking.
Okay.
That's a late
That's
Don't
not
like
pork.
A lot of people say they don't like pork. Pork is very underrated, but it's also, it can be a very dry dish if it's not cooked properly. Okay, so we put the sheet of greaseproof over the top, tray on top, so 2 trays.
Is that a smaller tray on
And
top?
a smaller tray on top so it's nice and flat, and then we place that in the oven.
At what temperature?
It's at 180 And we're going to be in there for about 10 minutes. And we're just going to check it. So
Are you going to timer it?
I don't need a timer.
Okay.
But for the purpose of the tape.
For the purpose of the tape, for the purpose of the girls in the house, about 10 to 12 minutes. But again, it's better to turn the tray around because if you've got a problem with your ovens, maybe you have to turn it around. Okay, so pork fillet. Take the pork. We take the sinew. You need to zoom in there a wee bit, Ryan. So we have the sinew. You just take off the excess sinew. So you go from head to tail. Okay, so the tail's obviously the thinner part.
Oh, this is a bit
Wait, what about the animals are?
That's the pork fillet. Okay.
What's the pig?
So he said what part of the animal?
Right, yeah.
Right, stop the hilarity, Lee. You're annoying
Really
me
stop
today.
embarrassing me.
Okay. So for that size, you just take off the ends. Okay, and then a nice piece for the portion. Okay. So we're going to season that. So I just discard the trimmings. Okay, I'm just going to give my hands a wee wash, right?
So is that the stomach?
Huh?
Stomach.
It's the fillet, so it's a bit underneath the sirloin, the loin, the rack. So the rack and the fillet's in the inside.
So the belly.
No, belly's in the end of the loin. Okay, so pork, season all the way around. Okay,
And you've got salt.
so a wee bit of salt. Somebody's moved my oil. Susan?
You're never organised.
Okay, a little bit of oil. You don't need to be too close. Okay. So,
What is it?
Shut up, Ryan.
don't tell your sister to shut up, Ellie, please. Okay,
Right, come on.
so just get the pan nice and hot for the pork. Okay. So when we're doing pork, as I said a minute ago, with the pork, can you look at me please, Brian? Thank you. When we're doing pork, similar to chicken, if it's dry, it's not really enjoyable. So as much as we want to get a nice even colour on the pork all the way around, I'm still looking for it moist inside. Okay, so moist, back to that word. Tender and pink inside. Now with pork, yes, we do need to cook it well done, but all we're doing for well done, we're just taking the blood out of it. Okay, we're not cremating it, killing it. Okay, we're still keeping it full of flavour. So, and again, away from you,
What oil did you use?
I just used veg oil. Okay, so you can see there. So I'm just going to leave that. Don't shake the pan. When you put in anything into a frying pan or into a pot of water, whatever, the initial when you put something in, it's going to cool the pan down. Okay, so you put the meat in, whether it's pork, chicken, sirloin, lamb, beef, whatever. When you're putting it in, you let the pan bring back up to the heat before you start turning the meat. Okay, so just zoom in a second now. So you can see how quickly the pork is starting to colour. So again, yes, I'm getting nice colour, but I don't want to dry the meat out. Okay. So just turn that again, get a nice colour, and then back onto the presentation side, and then I put that in the oven. Okay. Okay, so turn it over, nice, and then in the oven. Okay, so that goes in the oven. While we're doing that, we start thinking about the garnish. So I have my Parma ham crisp and my pork. Now the reason I'm putting the pork in now is so I can take that out and let it rest. Okay, so they'll be in the oven for probably 5 to 6 minutes. I'll take that out, let that rest, while that's resting, I bring everything all together. Okay, so get my knife a wee clean.
Just need to move from.
A wee clean, Blimey. So,
I know.
okay, so we're going to start with the onion. Sorry, Brian, I left the gas on. Sorry.
Naked flame.
Okay, so again, peeled onion, leave the core on, nice and fine. Underneath,
So you're dicing them.
I'm dicing it, Brian. Okay, and then just through. I know we've been doing this more or less every week, but technique is,
It's really important.
it's important to have it there, Brian. Okay, I'll just do a little bit more, even though I don't need it. You can put it in your salad tomorrow lunch, Brian. Okay. Yeah? Okay. So, again, chop nice and fine. You can see I'm only going 3/4 of the way up. Underneath again, and then straight through. Okay, you can let the knife do the work. These onions are strong this week, so I can feel it in my eyes slightly.
Where did you buy them from?
What, the onions?
Yeah.
Morrison's. Okay, so just move the onion onto the plate, and that's it. And we'll give that a little wipe down. Get rid of the excess. You
Oi.
can face me, Benny, while I'm
He
cleaning.
brought a cloth.
I brought a cloth. Nothing's on the floor, Susan.
Oh, because I hoovered it earlier.
Okay.
Yeah, I watched it.
Just
There is-
saying.
Actually, there is. I can see some on the
Okay.
floor.
So, Bryony, just come over to the oven. 'Cause
Oh,
I'm just
wow.
gonna turn
Really?
the pot, Bryony.
Seriously?
Right. Okay, so you can see the pot, nice. So just turning that over.
Is there a reason you don't use the onion root when cooking?
No, I used the. I can go further up the onion.
Just
if
don't
I
want
wanted.
to.
But I was just showing people how to get it nice and fine. Right. So, onion. So we're going to the mushroom. So I've brushed the mushroom. I've not washed the mushroom. I've brushed all the dirt off earlier on with a dry cloth. Okay, and then
Why do you not wash them?
because mushroom is water, and when I'm going to cook this, I'm not
Look at
looking
me.
at you, Susan,
Look
I'm
at
looking
me.
at my darling daughter and
Oh,
the camera.
shush.
So,
Oh,
the mushroom is just
honestly.
white, and then because mushroom is 80% water, so I don't want, so I just dry it off. Okay, so I'm going to chop.
Remember Kirsty's cool brush?
Yeah.
Okay,
So is that just a slice?
sorry,
Just slice it.
I'm slicing it into thin thing, and then I'm going to go right through. Okay.
Maybe next week, Ryan, you should cook with that.
Maybe you should just sit there and just ask the questions, Susan.
I think I'd embarrass myself.
I think you embarrass yourself every week anyway, Brian.
Oh right, that's really nice.
Okay.
She was helping you at the weekend.
Yeah, she was.
So don't be so ungrateful.
Okay. So, I'm not going to stand here for 10 minutes chopping mushrooms, everybody. I'm just going to get a few done. I've
Like
already-
Blue Peter, what you prepared?
Right, Blue Peter, sorry, they prepared. Yeah.
Wow.
So how was your first few days in the restaurant?
Past few days, I've been off the last 2 days.
No, the first few days you were at the
Yeah,
restaurant.
first couple of days were good. Thursday, Friday, great to have my whites on.
Was it nice to be back cooking?
Great to be back cooking. Great to be telling people what to do. Instead of getting abused in the house. So, okay, so nice and fine. So, okay, so mushrooms, chop the mushrooms, the onion. we're going to put a pot on and heat the pot up very, very hot. Okay. Now,
Very, very
it's
hot.
going to be very hot. We're going to fry off the onion, no colour, a little bit of butter, a wee bit of butter, as everybody says, and then we're going to add the mushroom.
How much is a wee bit of butter?
Well, Susan, you ask me these silly questions every week.
Is
But-
that actual
No, but
question?
it depends on how many people you're cooking for. Susan, if you point at me one more time.
Right, stop with the ag.
Depends
Continue.
on how many people they're cooking for.
So
You know,
you're cooking for
the
4.
likes of me- For me, for 4, I'm going to have a wee knob. Okay? Just maybe 20 grams. Say 20 grams. Okay?
Now,
So,
is that difficult?
while the pan is heating up, I'm going to just check my pork. Okay? Okay, Ryan, over here, please. Okay, so just feeling the pork, still a little bit soft. Okay.
What,
Put it
should it be
back in.
solid?
No, not solid. Okay. The crisp. Just take that off.
Oh, don't burn me.
Okay. See that starting to come together.
That broke off, that one.
Sorry.
See, that one broke.
What one broke?
The first one.
Okay, any broke. Ryan.
Oh,
Okay, now he's back in. Okay. So. So the onion, take a little bit of butter, Brian, come round this side please.
right.
So a little bit of butter, get it melting, okay. Add the onion.
Why don't you use an apron?
I do use an apron. I wear an apron at work.
Just not here.
I'm just not wearing an apron because I'm at home and my home luxuries. And I wouldn't wear an apron if I'm cooking dinner for my family.
And Susan's always there to wash
And
anyway.
Susan's already there to do the dishes anyway, so
No, it's not a dish.
And wash them.
wash the dishes. Okay, so you can see I'm frying off the onion and no colour.
Ow.
Okay, just sweating that off. Take the spoon out when you're
Don't want to
frying
taste like
off.
wood.
Don't want to taste the wood, Brian. Yeah, you're right. And then we're just going to add the mushroom in.
So how many mushrooms is that, Jink? 6?
But that's
7, 8?
That's a punnet of mushrooms that's in there. Okay,
A dozen?
and we're just a punnet. That's it, a small punnet.
Your mum said it.
Okay, so Brian, don't get involved. Okay,
Just help.
and then we're just frying this off. And what will happen here is all the water will come out the onion and the mushroom, and we want to evaporate that while the mushroom and that's cooking. Okay, so we don't add any salt at the moment because the mushroom, the water in that will come out anyway. So back to the pork. I'm going to take that out just now. I'm just going to let that rest. And then when I reheat it. Okay. So just let that rest. Okay. So you can see the water is starting to come out of the mushrooms. Okay, we'll just let that cook at the moment. Okay, so broad beans. So Brian,
Sorry.
so we have coloured parsley for this. Again, similar as the last few weeks. Just take off the stem. Okay, discard the stem and just take off the eye of the parsley. With that, I'm just going to take that and then just chop that fine. So you can see I'm just going through the parsley. Okay. Not too fine, okay? And then just with the rest that I've got prepared earlier. What's it like, Ryan? Blue Peter.
Oh no.
Okay, So, the parsley is going to go in the mushrooms once we've added the cream. Okay, just let that cook out. Okay, you can see it.
Oh, it's went down so much.
Yeah, it has. Okay, fine. So, the leeks, Brian, please.
I'm coming.
So, the leeks, I'm just taking the top off so they're all the same size.
Why'd you do that?
Sorry?
Why'd you do that?
So they're all the same size.
Yeah, but won't they all be the same size?
They will be when they cook. Okay?
Right.
So, we put that into boiling salted water at the back. Okay? They go into the back of boiling water. And then we have the broad beans. Right.
So I'm just mixing the mushrooms.
You don't need to mix the mushroom brownie. So, the broad bean, similar to, I think it was 2 or 3 weeks ago. Just take the broad beans out of the pods. Okay. So just with your thumb, just pull them out.
Is that an under the plant, an under the ground vegetable?
Sorry?
An under the ground vegetable?
No, it's a
Tree.
like a pea. It hangs from a tree.
Right. It looks like it's under the ground.
Why?
So it's black.
It's black. It's green, brownie. Are you colourblind?
I mean the root.
It's where it hangs from the tree, the branch.
Right.
Oh my god. Okay, so again, into the boiling salted water. Okay, you coming over here, Brian, or are you staying over that side today?
She doesn't need to keep moving.
Okay, you do, is it fine? So, the mushroom, we're cooking down.
Wow.
Okay, you can see how much it's came down. Okay, and for quickness,
Oh, it's not organised.
I am organised, Bryony. Please leave me alone today. Okay, so just for quickness, I'm just going to drain some of the water out
What do you mean for quickness?
because I'm going to add the cream rather than waiting it.
Oh yeah, best one.
Okay, so just add the mushroom, the water. Okay,
That's rank. The water. Like brown. Yeah.
okay. So take a little bit of double cream and just a little at a time. Okay. Okay, we just bring that up to the boil, and I want that to thicken up. Okay. So. Sorry, Brian.
Oh,
Can you look at me, Brian, please?
something else from the cupboard?
Is that about half a tub of cream you put in there?
Yes, roughly. Okay,
yes.
So Brian, baby leeks in the back.
We've used approximately 150 mils.
Okay, so the leek in the back, just test them. If you're not sure, maybe take a wee knife. Okay.
Just so they're soft.
Yeah.
Right.
And then into the ice salted water. Okay.
He saves the ice. Saves the ice for the weekend for his
Yes.
gins.
Yeah. And then we have the broad beans. Okay. So again, just check.
How long did they take, Ryan?
3-4 minutes. Okay. You got crunchy salt.
They're not ready.
So they're not ready.
Take this out. So
Okay, Brian, this is important, but so you can see the cream coming up. Okay, the DUXELLE is starting to come together. I bring my little bit of salt over, so just a little bit of salt. Okay, mix that in, and then I'm just going to taste that.
Seriously?
What?
That was to have.
Oh my goodness. Okay, now you could use other mushrooms, button Paris mushrooms or whatever for this. I've just used, but you've seen they were a bit bigger than button mushrooms, just to make it a wee bit easier for people to see rather than, so I'd chopped the smaller mushrooms earlier. Okay, so the broad beans, take out into the iced water.
Salted water? Or is it not salted?
Water.
Ice salted water, yeah. Not the Dead Sea, Susan. Okay.
So cheeky.
So, with the leek, once they're cold, take them out and just squeeze them slightly. Get the excess water. Okay. You can see how green they are. Again, I used a pot of water that's a wee bit bigger than that you'd probably think you need, but nice and green. Okay, so back to this spiny. So we're just going to add a little bit more. Okay, so you can see how it's coming like a paste. Okay, now as I said, I'm looking for this to be reduced slightly today, so it's full of flavour, and also I'm using it underneath the mozzarella. I'm going to do 2 presentations for you just so you've got an idea of what you can do with it. You could put this onto like a steak, a nice layer on top of the steak, with some, you know, green beans or whatever separate, but it's just an idea for you. Okay, so I'm just going to turn that down. Okay, and then I'm going to add the parsley. Okay, add the parsley. Okay, and you see the difference it makes right away, just to the texture. Obviously the parsley is going to dry the cream out slightly. Okay. Okay, I seen you try to take the spoon out, so, okay.
What are you laughing at?
Mushroom. Okay, so we take the mushroom off the heat. That's that ready.
What, mushroom?
Okay, Connie, shush, please.
Sorry, You're
talking over my ear.
I'm confused.
Okay, Ryan, please. Okay, so I'm just going to drain the beans off.
Sorry.
Okay, so Brian, then I'll leave. Okay, so just pick the broad beans out of
Oh,
the shell.
sorry.
Okay. Just, sorry?
So they not just fall out?
You can't eat it in the shells, but the shells on the nice.
Would you like some help?
So.
I went to that.
Right, Briny. Right, so I've got broad beans done, so everybody knows how to do that. There's a wee bit too much hilarity in this house today. Okay, can you put them over there, Briny? Give me space. That as well. Okay, so have my mushroom in the back, my broad beans, my leek. So with the mozzarella. So if you're slicing mozzarella, you can see it's soft when you slice it. What I did is just before we went on here. Okay. Now it's what are you doing, Ryan?
Nothing.
Okay. Right. So I'll show you. Now this isn't frozen. You can see it's still soft. And just if you're doing mozzarella, it's easier, right?
Oh, sorry.
So if I put the knife into hot water first, just for a second. And if you're doing no, but they are. You pierce the hole first.
I've done that.
Right. So
Is that hot enough?
yeah. So here.
Do you want to bring it?
Yeah. So bring it. So if when you're organising yourself, if you're doing a dinner party, what I'd do is I'd get greaseproof paper, okay, like that, and I would so this is the soft one, you'll see the difference. So as much as I've heated up the knife, I can get it thin. Because I've froze that slightly, or firmed it up slightly, with a hot knife, I can make it a bit thinner, and you can see I'm not having to press. Okay, the further I go in to the mozzarella soft, I'm going to start pressing it. Okay, obviously my knife's hot, but you can see when I press how you're starting to lose the shape. Okay?
It's a really good tip.
Is it?
It's a really, really smart one.
Thank you, Granny.
Don't worry about it.
Okay, so nice and thin. So as I say, it's not cheese and toast we're having, it's a pork dish with a little bit. Now the cheese we can use, the cheese we normally use at the restaurant is fontina, which is an Italian, French
Guys.
soft cheese. So when we put this under the grill on the plate, I'm looking for the cheese to be melting.
Not melted. Oh, it's so
I
predictable.
love it when the family gets together. Okay, so what did she say? What did she say? Okay, right, so
Sorry guys, I got you in it.
pork, we have our broad beans, our leek,
What?
our broad beans, our leek, our mozzarella. Our pork is just about to go back in. So the spinach, so baby leaf spinach, I washed it, dried it, I've just left it in a colander for a wee while, and we're just going to fry that off in a little bit of butter. Okay. A little bit, Susan.
What are you looking for?
I'm just getting another wee pan brine. Okay. So. Okay. Sorry? A little bit of butter.
Little
Okay.
bit.
And
Oh, this
I'm
is
just
mushroom.
going to check the Parma ham crisps. Sorry? What is? Hey, Brian. Come over, please. To see how crispy the Parma ham crisp is. Okay? So we're just going to leave
Solid.
that on the tray to cool down. Right, come over here. And then we have ones that we prepared earlier.
Look
Okay.
at that.
So we're going to put the pork in. I'm going to fry the spinach off.
Spinach.
Spinach, you.
Fry the spinach off. Do, do, do,
And a little bit of salt. Okay. Why is Zach over here?
I think I dropped a broad bean.
Huh?
What did you say?
Why is Zach over here?
Oh, sorry. I got him in it.
Okay, me please.
Do you need these broadbeans at Michelle?
Huh?
Do you need these ones?
Yeah.
For 5 seconds of fame, Ailey.
Okay. So.
It all comes together really quickly.
It will come all down to quickly. I'm just
What?
organising it. It will come together quickly. Okay. So you don't need to put that there, Susan. You don't need that. I need the space.
Okay. Is that a polite?
Thanks, Susan. Okay, so you can see I have our mushroom, I've got our spinach. Okay. Spinach, pork's in, heating up. I have our broad beans, and so the broad beans we're just going to put into the boiling water to finish off. But what I'm going to do is with the Brian, here, Kobe.
He's just chucked our mascots away.
So, these are being silly now. Okay, so, pork coming together. Okay, just a couple of seconds to get it a bit hotter. Okay. So,
Right, what we're doing now?
I need to take, sorry?
So when you put the pork back in, how long you put it back in for?
It's hot, Susan.
That's so not helpful.
I'm being time, I'm winding you up. I knew you were going to ask me that. 3-4 minutes.
Okay.
Well, 3-4 minutes depending on the temperature of your oven.
It depends the size of the pork.
And it depends. You've got it, Brian.
Oh.
I'm glad somebody's learning.
And also it depends on how you like the pork cooked.
Yeah, but obviously if you like your pork dry.
He's getting a bit nervous.
Okay, so.
My point was though, is there a way to tell if you're not an expert in cooking
Brian.
things like rare and medium and well?
I mean, if you're unsure, if you take a small knife, take a small, I mean, a really small one, like a paring knife,
Yeah.
and maybe make a small indent with it in the middle,
Yeah.
and leave it in there for a couple of seconds, and then take it out and either touch your tongue or your lip, and if it's warm,
If it's burnt,
no,
you know it's ready.
no, but if it's burning, if it's boiling hot, it's overcooked.
And you get a blister in your lip.
You're not going to get blister in that. So, as I say, touch it with your thing, and you won't have, if it's warm, it has to be over warm obviously. So,
Yeah.
frying pan, I'm just going to do one different type of baby leek just to show.
You can char it.
I'm going to char it.
Wow,
okay, just to
Susan.
get a different thing. So, that goes in the pan.
Any oil? No.
No, it's the dry pan.
Right.
Okay. So you can see everything's more or less ready. So I'm going to drop a wee handful of broad beans into the water. Okay. And drop my 2 leeks
And the same.
into the water. Okay. Leek.
Which otherwise known as spring onions.
But these are baby leeks.
Oh.
They're different things, babes. Oh, what's
No,
wrong?
we know you don't know that.
That's why he's the cook in the fam.
Yeah.
Okay. So, right. So, start putting it together now. Okay.
Reverse.
So, again, you can see everything's ready. We've got the leeks, we've got the mushroom, we've got the pork, the PARMA ham crisp, mozzarella is ready to go. So again, if you were doing this for a dinner party, you could have it more or less everything. Obviously your pork you're cooking on the day, your PARMA ham crisp you're cooking on the day, but you like your mozzarella you could have sliced on sheets of greaseproof in the fridge. Your vegetables could be cooked on the Friday, and the mushroom DUXELLE you could make on the Friday, so or the Thursday, as I say, break it down over a couple of days and it becomes a wee bit more
Enjoyable.
Okay, so nice charred leek, okay, still green but a few char through there. We're just going to leave that in the pan, going to turn the heat off. I'm going to put the DUXELLE mushroom back onto the heat. Okay. So I'm just going to drain the broad beans off. Put it back into the pot with a little bit of butter. Okay. A wee knob, and then just season the vegetables.
And
Okay.
mix.
So
Do you want me to do
the
it?
first plate, we're going to take the DUXELLE,
So a bed of DUXELLE.
a bed of DUXELLE for the first one.
Yeah.
Okay. Try and get a nice circle. Okay, right, over here.
Cool.
Okay. Just push it out with your spoon. A little bit of spinach, just to lift the colour.
We've got our connoisseur here.
Pork out. I'm going to turn this on to grill. Hopefully it'll heat up very quickly. Okay, so we take the pork. Hayley, please. So
Stop getting involved.
bring the broadbeans and leeks over. Just around, keeping it on the mushroom. Okay.
A big bit of pork in the middle.
Pork. We'll just slice.
Can you stop
Hayley.
interfering?
Okay, so we just slice the pork, and you can see how it's well
It
done.
looks pinker in
Okay.
this, but it's not.
Okay,
Doesn't it?
just cut it. But remember, it's going back under the grill.
Oh.
Okay, so you can see
Zach.
it's still nice and moist. You can see the moisture and how the texture of the pork. Okay, put that down the middle. Okay, actually we'll just.
Oh, a wee bit to the side. Looks lovely.
Okay, and then put the mozzarella.
Oh, lovely.
Oh, it's going to melt, but not melted. Got you. Sorry, I just had to work it out.
Okay, and then I take my leek and I just drizzle my leek over either side, going the opposite direction. Okay, and then I'll put that under the grill. I don't know who cooked that pork, but it's just the best. Honestly.
You would say that.
I nearly gave you a how's your daddy there, really, the same as the sirloin last week or the week before. Okay.
Who's your daddy?
It's not. There's your daddy.
Who's your daddy?
Oh.
Huh? Okay, so this is the first one. You can see it's melting but not melted.
It looks like a fried egg.
Okay.
Like the consistency of
Let
a
me
fried
just-
egg.
Turn the leek. Okay, so you have the first one,
Oh, you up with pancetta?
Oh, it does actually.
and then you put the pancetta. Thank you, Susan. I'm glad one is awake. And then you just put that over the top, so half on, half off, so you can see the mozzarella, the pork, and everything.
Wow.
Like that. Makes it a bit different, doesn't it?
Yep, on to the
Right, so
second one.
second one.
It's a 3.
So
Just two, really.
second one, how will we do this one? Okay, so this one.
Are you doing Tim Battle of the DUXELLE?
Why don't you just be quiet, Susan, please? Okay,
Can you stop interfering, please?
No, it's only an idea.
that's all an idea. Better you just.
Shh. Shh.
Okay,
Super shorty.
so a little bit of spinach. A few of the broadbeans around. Okay. Take the fork again. So I want 3 nice pieces. So you can see here I'm just cutting it at an angle so it looks bigger, even though it's the same portion. You can see if you imagine I cut that straight down it would just look boring.
Wouldn't look
But
as
with
nice.
an angle, it looks a bit more appetising. Okay,
Oh, yes.
again, we're into the three pieces. Sorry about that, my wife's giving me signals. Can you put this on for me, please? Okay. So, you take the mushroom,
No, I fell over that.
put the mushroom on top of the pork. Okay. Mushrooms on top of the pork, and then you just take the mozzarella over the top. Okay. Again, you can see them all pointing in the way. Okay. I'm going to take my charred leeks, put them through.
That's
Why have you only got
middle.
2 leeks?
Why?
Is 3 not better?
It is better, but I don't have enough room, and just the way I did the last garnish.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, have I forgot any of the garnishes this time, Susan? Apart from the PARMA ham crisp? Okay. You sure?
But your wines, why did you do your wines just now?
No, because I'm watching Melting But Not Melted, Susan, remember? Right, Bryzy, bring the camera, please. Okay, so just...
Wow. Some fried eggs.
It's not fried eggs. Okay. So, I know a lot of people say they don't like pork, but for a chef, I think a lot of people appreciate that pork, you can obviously eat the whole animal. So there's a lot of interesting things as a chef you can do. So again, put that down the middle. Okay, take a photo like that. First.
That really is a 10 out of 10.
Can you hurry up to I'm going to change it a wee bit different.
Need to get all the angles.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, that's enough.
Really?
Right. Or you can take the crisp, break it slightly, and have it half on, half off, all three. Okay. So you can see I'm on each side, the opposite side of each.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, we've got somebody looking for their dinner here. Somebody's looking for their dinner. So going forward, you can see here that the dish is finished. How it's all came together. Okay. Obviously somebody's hungry, he's here for his dinner. So hopefully there's a few tips here on what we'll put together, whether the crisp or the mozzarella, and just basically the basic organisation of the week to week, making sure that you're enjoying it rather than stressing out. Okay, so on to the wine. We have an Albarino, which is one of my favourites. This one's actually from Pays in France rather than Spain. It's one of Spain's most distinctive wines. I know I said this one is from France. It's one of the most distinctive wines with a French makeover, this one. Aromas peach, apple, lime, apricot with a zingy fruitiness on this one. Hints of vanilla to finish, vanilla notes to finish.
How much is it?
I'm just about to say, why are you interrupting me? It's £9.60 for that.
Okay, that's good.
So on to the rosé. We have the Castilla Monjardin, which is Spanish. This is $7.75 a bottle. You can see a lovely rosy colour. Notes of mature fruit, smooth, delicate, clean, crisp. Okay, that's a briny one. She just drinks that for fun at the weekend. Okay, and then we have a Jones Rouge. So this is a Grenache red wine. Fresh mulberry, red fruits, a bit less oak in this one. Bit silky and smooth. Is that I'm
Right.
talking? It's very Moorish. It would
Are you
go,
saying that from experience?
it
It's
would
very
go,
good?
yes, and it would go really well with the pork. Okay, so that's the wines.
How much was that one?
That's
You didn't say.
£15.70.
Oh,
That's a biggie.
That's a big one. Okay,
pricey.
so
That's that one.
obviously, as I said, there's a few hints in there, a few
Tips.
cheeky tips that I don't really let out very often. We are open, we are back open. Last Thursday, Friday, Saturday, as I said, we're good, busy, can always be busier. Please come and join us, see my smiling face.
What times? Thursday
Thursday we open 5,
at night, so it's
5
night.
in the evening, well it's not even 5 in the morning, Brian. And then we have lunch, opens from 12 onwards, and then 5 o'clock in the evening, Friday, and then 12 o'clock all day on a Saturday till 9 o'clock in the evening.
Right.
Okay, thanks very much everybody for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. The Mall family closed down Tuesday.
Oh!